Hello again, 5th grade. Welcome back to another edition of Math with Mr. Howe. And today we are going to be working on dividing fractions and whole numbers. Okay, so I'm going to show you two different ways to do it. So I'm going to show you how to divide a whole number into a fraction and a fraction into a whole number. So let's start with 10 divided by 1/4. Okay, and that's going to equal something. Now, what I need to do is I need to rewrite this. I'm going to put 10 as a fraction over 1 and divide by 1/4. Okay, now, when we're dividing fractions, okay, what we need to do is we need to do something called finding the reciprocal. Okay, and when we find the reciprocal, it means we actually flip our fraction. So the denominator becomes the numerator and the numerator becomes our denominator. Okay, so we find the reciprocal, or we invert our fraction, and then we multiply. So then our division problem becomes a multiplication problem. Remember way back at the beginning of the year we talked about inverse operations? Well, this is exactly what that means. So I'm going to rewrite my 10 over 1, and now I'm going to multiply by 4 over 1. Okay, so then just like regular multiplication of fractions, I do 10 times 4 and 1 times 1 to get 40 over 1, or I could just say 40. Okay, so 10 divided into fourths is 40. So another way of thinking about that would be if I had 10 pounds of hamburger and I wanted to make quarter-pound burgers, I would be able to get 40 hamburgers out of that 10 pounds. Okay, so let's try another one, and this time we're going to divide a fraction into a whole number. So I have now 1/4 divided by 10, and that is going to equal something. So here again, I need to do 1/4 divided by 10 over 1, and again, we need to find the reciprocal. Okay, so we invert our fraction, and we multiply. So my 10 over 1 becomes 1 over 10. Okay. And yep, find the reciprocal, and then we multiply. So we do 1/4 times 1 over 10. And then we multiply straight across. So we do 1 times 1 and 4 times 10. And 1/4 divided by 10 is going to be 1/40. Okay, so another way to think about this is what we can think about is if I have a whole number first, okay, if my whole number is the dividend and my fraction is my divisor, then my quotient is going to be bigger or greater than both my dividend and my divisor. So just like in that first example, when I had 10 divided by 1/4, our answer was 40, okay? And 40 was greater than both 10 and 1/4. So when my whole number is my dividend and my fraction is my divisor, the quotients will be greater than both the dividend and the divisor. Now, the opposite of that is also true. So if the dividend is a fraction and my divisor is a whole number, and let me fix my W here, okay? So if the dividend is a fraction and the whole number is the divisor, then the quotient is going to be less than both the dividend and the divisor. Okay, just like up in this example, 1/40 is less than 1/4 and it's less than 1/10. Or, I'm sorry, it's less than 10. Okay, so 1/40 is less than both 1/4 and less than 10. Okay, so it's going to be less than both the dividend and the divisor. Okay, so I hope that this makes some sense. And again, if you guys have questions, please feel free to ask myself or your homeroom teacher, and we will set you guys on the right path, I hope. So take care, stay well, see you on the next one.